Hello, friends, new and old, and welcome to Read Aloud with Taya and Casey, where we will read amazing books and learn fun and awesome activities. We're happy you are here.
So what's on the menu for today?
Well, I don't know about you, but this morning I had to go to the post office and I had to get into something to allow me to get there a little bit faster than walking.
Aha.
Yeah.
What could that be?
Here's my hint, and I kind
Okay.
of put it a little bit in my description. I had to get into it in order to go somewhere.
Trouble. You had to get into trouble.
No, of
You you
course not,
took
Casey.
you got into trouble on the way to the post office.
Casey, you know me. Do I seem like the kind of person that would get in trouble?
No, you make some pretty safe choices. Hmm, something you get into.
Hmm.
Um,
And you can go pretty fast in it. Like mine probably, I wouldn't go the fastest that it could go, but probably around like 120 miles an hour.
a bicycle. I see bikes in your back, like behind you, and some helmets. You took your bike to the post office.
So good guess, Casey. But I will say that, do you get into a bicycle to ride around on it?
I've seen some bicycles that have a whole protective shell around them, um, but I saw those in Europe, so maybe not. And your bikes don't look like they have a protective shell around it, so again, incorrect. Yeah, okay. Um, does it have wings? Does it have wheels? And does it have a propeller?
Ooh, do you want to know how many wheels it has?
Yes, that would be helpful.
Okay. It has one, two, three, four wheels. And sneakily, it actually has an extra wheel in the back of it, in the trunk.
Um, is it one of those bikes that you can lay in, like where you're pedaling like this? Because
Like a
that has four
lay-down bike.
wheels. Yeah, recumbent.
It is not a lay down bike.
This is really tricky. Can you just tell me, or maybe what it rhymes with? What
I
does it
was actually
rhyme with?
just thinking that if you wanted a good rhyming hint.
Okay,
It rhymes with roar.
star. What? Maybe the beginning sound.
As in cold for
Is
those.
it a Qatar
No, not a Qatar.
car?
A car! Yep,
There we
four
go.
wheels, one in the back. I got into it to go to the post office.
Okay. You want to know a little fun fact about me?
Yeah, always.
So if you look, there's like down here, it says my name, Casey Rettenmeyer.
Uh-huh.
So my initials, when you include my middle initial, it's Allen, Allen. My initials
Ooh.
spell car, Car, Casey Allen Rettenmeyer.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Beep, beep. Yeah, that's why I'm always the car in Monopoly,
I
the
like
little
that.
metal roadster. Yeah. Um, well, I feel like that has something to do with our read aloud for today.
It most definitely does. And our activity for today, too.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
Can I show? I mean, I physically have the book with me.
Hmm. I will be reading mine
Um,
from my phone today.
oh my gosh, don't you love technology?
I know, it's a crazy thing.
It's pretty cool. This is a book. This has been my favorite for a long time. And um, when I first read this book by this author, he only had this one, but then he started doing more of the same kind. So
Mm.
it was like a series. Um, and I just love the. It's a great rhyming book. It's very imaginative, but then the illustrations are so detailed. It's crazy. And that's something that I get lost in when I'm reading these books.
Hmm.
It's If I Built a Car by Chris Van Dusen. Is that backwards?
No. Looks,
No, it looks. See, it's backwards to me. Maybe.
oh, silly.
Okay,
Looks great on my end, Casey.
great. And here's the example. Like, there's there's some chrome on the fender of this car, and you can see the reflection of the boy and the dog. It's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. So if you get a chance to get a closer look at this book, I definitely recommend um, really diving into it and
You know, those
exploring it.
have a did you say the word that those drawings are?
No, what would that? You have more experience with art, so I trust that you know what that is.
Well, so you have the book, every book, I would say most children's books, the writer is always different than the person who makes the artwork for it. And the
Hmm.
person that makes the artwork for a book is called the illustrator.
Okay.
So inside, if you flip inside of that book, there should be a note that says illustrated by.
Okay. I'm looking. Illustrated by. Would that be on this big page of words right here?
Typically it's right usually on that first page, and it's a little surprising if it's not.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
the the author very well could have been the person that illustrated it. But if we go, for example, like we read Rosie Revere Engineer, the
Yeah.
last book that we read. So here's our Rosie Revere Engineer, and down below it says illustrated by David Roberts.
Oh,
Yeah.
so if we can't find, if it's just him, if it's just this guy right here, I mean, could it just be that he did everything?
It is possible. Yeah. That's pretty rare to have a writer who also has illustrated their book.
Yeah. I mean, Dr. Seuss, I know that he did all of his own drawings, and there's only his name on most of those books. So that would make sense. Well, should we get should we get going?
Absolutely. I'm looking.
Cool.
Yep. I just looked it up too, and Chris Van Dusen did illustrate his own book.
Nice. The cool thing in the very inside cover is that they have all of these different designs,
Whoa.
right? Because a lot of times, I think we talked about how you in the last book when you're Rosie Revere, it's sometimes you make mistakes and the first go isn't good,
Mhm.
and you just make different changes later. And looks like he's made lots of different ideas and thought about this really thoroughly.
I
So,
think that's kind of why they have model numbers, right, for different vehicles,
oh yeah,
because they make different alterations on the body, or which is what the main part of the car is, the body of the car. They'll make alterations on that.
yeah,
How high, how low, how big, how small, short, tall.
yeah. Iron Man suit Mark II, Mark III,
Yeah.
more power. I don't know.
All right.
Um, okay, here's here's the first page, and this is kind of cool because if you see when I see a shadow, it's usually the same thing as the thing that's making the shadow, but that is not the same shadow as the car.
No, it is not.
It kind of gives me a hint that some exciting things are going to come our way. Okay, do you want to read the first page?
Sure.
And I'll hold up the picture.
Sounds great.
Cool.
All right. Jack, from the back seat, said to his dad, "This car is okay. This car is not bad. But it's just a car. Nothing great, nothing grand. It's nothing at all like the car I have planned."
Mm. Okay. I'll work through the night to create a design, constantly analyze, tweak, and refine. I'll study jet rockets and look at old planes, contemplate buses and zeppelins and trains. To make it as smooth and as sleek as an eel, I'll borrow ideas from the Wienermobile. Bonus points if you know what the Wienermobile is, if you've even seen it. That's even cooler.
Remind me when
Uh,
the story, Casey. I've got a fun fact about the Wienermobile.
oh, great! Yeah, there's the picture of it right there. So sit back, relax, stay right where you are. It's time to reveal my spectacular car. Now, it, they talked about zeppelins.
Mhm.
Taya, do you know what a zeppelin is? And it's not the band.
I have an idea of what a Zeppelin is, but I don't want to make any wrong guesses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an
the
inflatable.
huge, kind of like not an air balloon, but not a plane.
Yeah. One word that I've heard it described as is a dirigible,
Oh,
like that type of vehicle.
interesting.
Anyways, yeah. All right. You ready for the next page, Taya?
I am.
All right, here you go.
You'll see that I've added a lot of neat things. Flush fender skirts and retractable wings. 3 headlights up front, 4 taillights in back, plus 2 giant fins that look like an old Cadillac. My brand new design will be curvy and round with special jet engines that don't make a sound. I'll paint it bright colors with accents of chrome and top it all off with a plexiglass dome.
That's pretty cool. So this is the shadow that we saw in the beginning of the book, right?
Yeah.
Looks like the same shape.
It reminds me of those the cars from that 1960s cartoon with the
The
family.
the Jetsons?
Mhm.
Oh, totally. If another bonus points if you've seen the Jetsons or even know about the Jetsons. I know that on HBO you can see the Jetsons movie if you're inclined.
Hmm.
All right. Okay. I'll build a safe car, just as safe as I can, because safety is job number one in my plan. It may look like steel from afar, you can't tell, but it's actually made of a polymer gel,
Whoa.
a space age concoction that I just invented. So in a collision, my car won't get dented. It simply absorbs what we happen to hit, and folks will be fine in the seats where they sit. Look at how squishy that car is. How many cars can do that?
Very few.
Polymer gel. Even the dog likes it. He's sinking his paws into it. All right.
Come with me now, I'll show you inside. I've put in a couch. It's a comfy and wide. Plus a fireplace, fish tank, and here's something cool. The floor can slide up. And look, there's a pool. Wow,
That's pretty impressive.
that's very impressive.
How do you think the water stays in when you stop quickly?
I think there's a lot of swishing and sloshing around.
Okay. This page always makes me hungry. Next, step right this way to the back of the car and note the red button marked instant snack bar. Say you were hungry and wanted a treat, just press it and instantly good things to eat appear in a flash, anything that you please, from hazelnut pudding to aerosol cheese. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yum, yum,
Look at
yum.
all that stuff coming off that conveyor belt. You have a favorite thing on there?
Ooh, probably. Um, I really like crinkle cut fries and that
Mm-hmm.
cupcake. But I would say the crinkle cut fries dipped into what looks like maybe a chocolate float sounds pretty
Oh
delicious.
yeah. So this right here, this doesn't look like a standard hot dog bun. And
Hmm.
it makes me think of something that I saw in a movie once called the Twinkie Wiener Sandwich, where you put a hot dog inside of a Twinkie, you cut the middle of a Twinkie open and put it inside, and then you put aerosol cheese on top of it.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that's oddly enticing right now. Have you ever tried one?
I have not, no.
Okay.
I don't eat beef meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We could do that with alternative meats too.
Yeah, maybe like a soy dog or a something.
Yeah. A carrot. All right.
After you've eaten, you might like a nap. And Robert the robot makes napping a snap. I've built him right into the back of the chair. He's out of the way. You won't know that he's there. But when you get sleepy and rise from your seat, the chair spins around without missing a beat. Robert the robot will take the controls, and he's guaranteed not to hit telephone poles. I see you're impressed with all that's inside. So start up the motor. Let's go for a ride.
You see that steering wheel? I've never seen a steering wheel in that shape before. Usually it's very round. That's
Mhm.
more kind of ovally squared.
Almost like a video game, um,
Yeah.
control.
Yeah. So he even invented the robot. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Hmm. Well, a car that smells good. Now that's something new, but if I built a car, that's just what I'd do. Inside the engine, I'll add a machine to capture the odor of burnt gasoline and change it to something more pleasing to noses, like blueberry muffins or freshly picked roses.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Oh, yeah, it's a head turner. It's a good smell. What would you want your car to smell like? What would be a really pleasing smell for you?
Easy
Like,
laundry detergent.
oh, laundry detergent. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. I can't think of like a really good. Maybe I have hot dogs in my. Maybe cooked hot dogs, like a barbecue.
You seem like you're really in the need of a hot dog right
I
now.
think I'm gonna go make hot dogs for lunch today. All right.
Now that we're cruising, let's head to the lake. There's no need to panic or slam on the brake. My car can do something that very few can. The fenders will float like a catamaran. Ooh, can we pause really quick and just talk about what a catamaran is?
Totally. Is it made out of these things?
No.
There's my cat back there. Yeah. It's not
Um,
made out of cats.
a catamaran is a very special kind of a sailboat that, unlike most sailboats where you just have the one hull, where you have the one boat part,
Like
a
this.
catamaran has two separate floats and then usually some kind of
Oh.
netting or a middle boat part.
Oh, so like these things right here
Hmm.
would be the pontoons you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because then there's your traditional boat. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Single
There's,
that's
there's a
floating in.
sunfish, that littler boat with the really beautiful sail by your pointer fingers there up in the back.
Oh yeah.
That's a sunfish. And there's another one. And those are usually a little bit smaller, but they also have that one center boat, um, and a mast with a sail. But a catamaran is a really unique and really beautiful kind of sailboat.
You sound like you have a lot of experience. Do you know how to sail?
I do know how to sail.
That's cool. I did a summer camp one time where we learned, but it was decades ago and I think I forgot. But it's really fun.
It is.
Maybe someday you'll have to teach me when we can get on the water together.
That sounds great. We're
uh
skimming, if I can,
okay.
yeah. We're skimming the waves and we're having a ball. But wait, hold your horses, because that isn't all. Boating is fine till we get the urge to dive underwater. Oh,
Oh, dot dot dot. Love that. Then just hit submerge.
whoa.
Oh, it's so cool. So this car doesn't just drive, it doesn't just float, but it dives. It's a submarine. That's so cool. Robert will drive as we burble about. We can see catfish and we can see trout. We might even spy the shy stickleback gar from inside our fabulous waterproof car. Now the cool thing is you can see catfish. There's a catfish right there. Is that because it has whiskers? And then there's trout, but then the stickleback gar is right there.
Whoa, scary.
Yeah, lots of teeth on that one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Last but not least, the best feature of all comes down to a button that's shiny and small. Push it, and then, in the wink of an eye, the car will take off, will be up in the sky.
Do you think those people were expecting to see a something fly out of the water?
No, it looks like she's gonna have to have someone refill her lemonade.
Yeah, yeah, that would be surprising to say the least. It's even popping some fish out of the water too. There's so much power coming out of that car. We'll fly over land, we'll fly over seas to Alaska, Nebraska, Bermuda, Belize. or take a vacation when things start to freeze and fly us all down to the Florida Keys.
Look at
Do you
those
think?
flamingos.
Yeah, I know they're surprised too. Now
Mm-hmm.
there's some places here that they mention. Have you been to any? No, Alaska, Nebraska, Bermuda, Belize, or the Florida Keys? Have you been to any of those places?
Funny enough, Casey, I was just in the Florida Keys.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How do you unlock it?
You get into an airplane and then you fly, and then you you just arrive there and it's already unlocked for you to enjoy.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So, is it warm and sunny like that? Is this what it looks like?
Yeah, it's very beautiful and there's lots of water, and the keys are all tiny little islands that go all the way down
Oh,
until you hit the bottom key.
cool. So
Mhm.
they're not actual like door keys, they're tiny little islands.
No, tiny little islands.
Gotcha. All right.
My car will be cool, my car will be keen. My car will be one fantastic machine. The toast of the town, the cream of the crop, the belle of the ball, the tip of the top. My car will be famous from here to Peru.
Pretty cool. There's more of that chrome. You can see the street and the parade goers in it.
Hmm.
Pretty cool. If I built a car, that is just what I'd do.
Yay!
Yay. And then there's the last page right there. It's up late working.
So cool.
Yeah. Uh so I think he did. If I built a house and if I built a school,
Ooh,
and
very,
I haven't read if I built a school, but if I built a house one's really cool too.
very.
Maybe we'll try to find that someday.
So I just
Cool.
realized that something kind of fun about this book
Hmm.
is that it really is, it's really inspiring to want to make and build your own car. And I
Exactly.
that we have taught about, um, we've taught at school about how to build buildings before using
Hmm.
using something called a blueprint. Do you think that you would use a blueprint to make a car as well?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what these are, right?
Oh yeah, very
These are,
cool.
yeah. I mean, green prints,
Green print.
blue for buildings, green for cars.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
also could be something where we're going to show some examples of how to make cars at home. But if you ever wanted to try and put on your inventor's cap and build something like our friend did in our book, you could get
Hmm.
a blue pencil or even just a regular colored pencil and sketch out a creative, fun car.
Yeah. Um, I didn't do any sketches, but I kind of ran through my home and found some things that I might be able to make into a little vehicle. It doesn't have, a conveyor belt of food or anything, but it's just fun to kind of tinker and,
Yeah. What kind
and
of things did
use
you
things.
find to help you build?
Um, I got this whole bucket right here.
Whoa.
I found some cork.
Cool.
I found an eraser. I found and recognize this from Tuesday. Nails.
The nails. Yeah.
Yeah. So found some little ones. These are little brass ones.
Oh, very cute.
I found bottle cap and another twist cap and a button
Nice.
and a Lego wheel.
Whoa.
What did you find? Were you able to come up with anything from around your house?
Yeah. So I found this nice thick paper that
Oh
I
yeah.
actually used from the back. I had a notebook, and I used the back part of the notebook.
Cool.
And I cut it into little circles because I thought that they would make some good wheels.
Hmm.
Because you had said nails, And then
Hmm.
you couldn't find any push pins. Well, I have some these kind of funky push pins
Yeah.
that
Oh, careful.
I thought would work well. I'm 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 being very gentle. I wouldn't advise holding them like that at
Like,
home. You could always
okay.
hold them like this or have an adult help you out. Um, and then I also, which I thought would be kind of fun, I have a lot of these spools of thread.
Hmm.
So I thought that that could make a kind of fun body to a car. This old thread spool
I mean, it's so round too. It also could be used maybe as a wheel
for
in
sure.
a pinch as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah. So I was thinking I might show how I would turn an eraser into a vehicle. You want
Awesome.
to show us how you would make one out of your spool?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Do you want to start with your eraser?
Sure. Um, so first, this is the thing about erasers is that they're pretty squishy and flexible. Um, and these buttons have holes in them. The other thing is, Taya, you taught taught us about using a drill to make holes,
Mm-hmm.
or to screw things in. But there's another bit that you can put in instead of that cross shaped um,
The Phillips head.
bit, the Phillips head screwdriver. But you can do a drill bit, and you can, with some adult help, drill a hole in right in the middle too if you don't have anything.
Hmm.
But I was gonna just put the little nail through, and it's going to stop because the head pulls all the way through. It doesn't won't pull all the way through,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm just going to push it right in,
Oh,
so it goes like that. A little
whoa,
wobbly
cool.
because it's not in the middle, but um, yeah. And I can do this pretty quickly. And then the fun part is adding things onto the eraser as well.
Oh yeah.
Um, find where all my little brass nails went. Oh, I only brought three. Oh, there's the fourth one. Okay, there we go. I was starting to get worried.
You got it.
There we go.
Whoa, look at that tiny little
Ooh.
car.
I should push the wheels in a little more. They're a little wobbly.
Awesome.
There we go.
Now, do you think it'd be possible, Casey, for you to maybe build a couple of those and then you could maybe even draw like a racetrack?
Oh my gosh. Remind me to talk about racetracks after you build yours out of your spool and
Yeah.
cardboard. Because I have some fun. I brought some fun things to show you guys
Ooh,
as
okay.
well.
So for my car, I just took that thick kind of cardboard paper. I can hold that up,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell it's thick because it makes that nice
Yeah.
loud cardboard noise. And I have my spool of thread. And I just took one of my push pins and I pushed it into my cardboard. Boop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I just pushed that right into my spool of thread. And I did that
Nice.
for all four of my wheels. And I wanted to make sure that my wheels went past the bottom of my spool so that they would touch the ground and roll. Because
Oh yeah.
they're not as big as the spool of thread, but they're pretty close, and I wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
the car could still roll around. So then I just push in my four wheels. Doo-doo. I got my car.
Cool. I know. Like we're off to the arm race. So speaking of racetracks, I was able to go and dig up something that's been in my basement for a couple of years, but it's
Whoa.
a lot older than a couple of years. I was going to show,
Is
and
it a mummy?
uh, no, that'd be a little interesting if there's a mummy in my basement. Um, but I have, and I don't know if anyone's seen these before. I don't think they really make these anymore. But this is This is a RC racetrack, and it
Uh,
uses electricity to. It has these little metal pieces. Can you see that, Taya? Where my finger is?
yeah.
So that has a little bit of electricity, and it powers these special cars here that have a little motor and these kind of spongy or these springy pieces here, and those connect to the metal track, and then this little pin here keeps it in the middle, and that's what conducts the power and makes them go. And there's a little trigger um, that you use. It has these, they're little, and they're connected, and there we go. Oh, sometimes they there we go.
Whoa!
Yeah. The fun thing, I'll use the other one. I feel like that's working a little better. This is really old, but my cat loves chasing it. Oh, crash burn.
That's
But
so
anyways,
fun.
yeah. That was something that somebody invented using, just regular cards. That took a lot of thought um, to come up with, let's use electricity and all
Hmm.
that stuff. But I also was able to find some toys that were, invented and made
Hmm.
that are cars, but special cars. One of them is from a cartoon where this guy got to design his own car, and it reminded me of the car from the book. It
Yeah.
had that plexiglass dome, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And then
And they did. I think they mentioned a DeLorean in the book, didn't they?
maybe
In the beginning,
uh,
when he's talking about the cars that he wants to create.
uh, buses, zeppelins, trains, Wienermobile,
Oh,
Cadillac. But
that was
yeah,
before
DeLorean.
my brain was just thinking DeLorean.
I know. Well, and there you go. This was someone who said, I want to make a totally unique looking car. This was the first car to have these. We're
Hmm.
starting to see these more and more now, but this is from a movie where a guy took this really unique car, but then also turned it into a time machine. Um, so, so I had that hanging around. And then the last one is this was an old ambulance that got turned into a car to help people who catch ghosts get from place to place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
um, Tia, you were going to share something about the Wienermobile. You had something interesting about that?
Yes, I actually know someone who was a driver of the Wienermobile.
Get out. That
Yeah,
you can, that's a job?
that is a real job that they hire. I think it's a fleet of maybe like 7 or 8 Wienermobiles that are always driving around the country, and they're not right
Mm-hmm.
now, but
Mm-hmm.
um, they label it, I think, as like a paid internship, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
you can be the person that drives the Wienermobile around for a whole year.
Oh my gosh. So if you guys get old enough and you have your licenses, you can apply to drive a giant hot dog around the country.
And it is a crazy, crazy competitive job too.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Do you get all the hot dogs you want?
I don't know about that. I know that you are kind of, promoting the hot dogs, but
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer Wiener hot dogs, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what I would assume that you probably would be eating a handful of hot dogs.
Oh
Right?
my gosh,
Yeah.
that's super fun. Hey, before we go,
Mhm.
my my niece took the project that we were working on that I showed you with how to use hammers and nails.
Yeah.
She finished my work and she made this.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe I'll see if I can put a link where I'm pointing to our
Mhm.
video, and hopefully, if people haven't seen that project yet, they can watch our previous read aloud. Maybe do some fast
Mhm.
forwarding if they want to see that project and make their own when they are at home.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, that this was super fun. Next week, I guess I'll
yeah,
see you next week. I'll
uh,
see everyone at home next week
yeah.
as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And remember, you can always build yourself a little car, build a racetrack, make some blueprints. All those are some fun, awesome activities you can do at home. And you can really, I think the most fun part about this is seeing what materials you can upcycle or recycle in your
Yeah.
house to create your axles, the things that support your wheels, what can create your
Hmm.
wheel, and what can create the body of your car. So my push pins are my
Yeah.
axles, the paper are my wheels, and then I have my main body of my car made out of my spool of thread.
Cool. Yeah. Felt really felt really proud of this.
It looks great.
Yeah. All right. Well, Taya,
Should we wave goodbye?
let's wave.
Thanks for
Wave.
coming. We'll see you next week.
Bye guys. See ya.